Hello and welcome to the Crafsman Show. My name is your host. What? The Crafsman. In today's one, I thought I would take you on a tour inside my toy studio slash projects workspace slash YouTube studio production out there. It's a shop tour, y'all. Come out, yeah. I did a workshop tour some years back, but that was some years back, so I felt like we would do another one, you know. Probably most people would prefer like plain walls, and to where you can see the walls and then that way your individual artworks can stand out. But somebody's here. Okay, had to go get a package. I apologize. This video is gonna turn into a shop tour slash backslash a day in the life of Crafsman getting packages. All right. So what were we talking about? I'll tell you what's in that package in a minute. It's kind of a little, it's kind of fun for me anyway. It's just a bunch of salt. Anyway, no big deal. But yes, I have a lot of stuff. Might say that's kind of part of my aesthetic is to just have stuff everywhere. Why is that really? Well, this is where I spend a lot of time out here working. So I like to surround myself with just visual color, design, things that's just really fun to look at, that people have given me. Things that I have collected, things that just speak to me, that inspire me, and I'd like to put it all around me because I like to look up at any moment and say, like, yeah, that's inspiration, or that's, so much inspiration. So let's break it down into kind of the sections of the shop. Okay, let's start over here. This is my paint corner. Okay, this is where I paint my soft vinyl toys and things. And again, I like to have our inspiration. We got the Pelican Man, right? Miss you, T-New. Hope y'all doing well, man. I have a portable spray booth that I built in a previous episode, but it usually goes right there. I've got it moved for right now, but this is predominantly soft vinyl paint. I used to use exclusively acrylics. I started using vinyl paints and I kind of haven't really looked back. Why is that? Some of y'all know I've spent a significant amount of time trying to get paint to stick to toys, and it was to that end I received a care package of some Vinyl Wonder paint and some test samples. And the paint sticks to it extremely. I mean, it's bonded to it, stuck well. Receiving vinyl paint in the mail was a big reason that I ended up getting into vinyl figures. But we're gonna get into all that. And as you can see, these are some of my friends. Let me change my camera a little bit. Exposure. I want y'all to be able to read these. Sorry, I'm trying to do this. It's kind of fun making a video this way because the editing is a lot easier. But let's see. So yeah, these are some of my friends right here, fellow toy makers and creative people. And let me pull back. All right, now I'm gonna have this part blurred out intentionally just because these are personal letters that people have sent. Some I don't want any names and things, but I just want y'all, this means like I've got all this inspiration, beautiful. It just tingles my creative spirit. But sometimes I get down and I come over here and I just read some of this and I'm like, yeah, man, come on, man, don't give up. And I put some stuff on the ceiling. Even when you look up out here, you can see things. All kinds of artwork and ephemera. How do you even say that? Like, oh, when people talk about old things, they say ephemera. Is it ephemera? Oh, and more old things hanging up. Yeah. Like I say, and not so old things. I got some things that are just precious to me, just people sent to me, all kinds of stuff. Things from projects I was part of that was real special, very special projects with special people. And coming over to this corner section, we got the compressor and got the pressure pot right there. California Air Tools pressure pot. I get a lot of questions about which pressure pot, because I've been through a few of them, but that's the California Air Tools pressure pot. And this is kind of my metalworking section. If I do any kind of metal cutting, especially metal bending. And that's a bend and break, which I've used it quite a few times. It's relatively new. I've got an episode that's kind of been in the oven for a long time, in which I show how to use this, and various hand bending tools, metal cutting tools, scraps, pipes, copper, keep some scraps up here too. We got a little portable welding unit, and actually I got a little portable power supply right there. That's kind of handy when the power goes out and you need to charge things or whatever. And coming over here we have just a general little work area. This is where I might do some resin mixing or mix up some epoxy sculptor, some clay, various things. We got a crock pot for wax. We got a little rock tumbler. Got a rectifier for some, I use that for electroplating and things like that. And various little storage things down in here. Oh, the gaming center. Let's just call it the gaming center. So that's the area that sometimes we'll straight up just play some Atari games. Usually we have other consoles, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch. But yeah, major announcement. We made a game, in case y'all didn't know. It's called Blue Dragon. I'm extremely proud of this game. Crafsman worked on it. Now available on Steam. Really pumped up about Steady Craftin having a Steam game right there. Crazy, yeah. And then surrounding the game center, of course, we have some artwork that was just lovingly given to me. We got our YouTube 100,000 subscriber award. Some more wonderful artwork, and we got some. I'm going to show you my soft vinyl shelf, but let's look at some of these. This is like, if you've been around for a while, that little shelf right there has been with us probably since the get-go of Steady Craftin, and some of these items I've just kind of had, you know. Yeah, we got a little miniature shop right there. And coming up here above that, we've got several Steady Craftin originals. These are prototypes or original sculpts. A lot of them made by me and Crafsman, and various ones of us. Some of these have never been in production. Some of them have been quite in a bit of production. This one was going to be an air conditioner, man. This is sculpted by Crafsman. It's called AC Man, air conditioner man, 2-part figure. He also made a 3-part figure, which I really thought was cool. It's the t-shirt man. It's a man. It's a man. He's hiding up inside the t-shirt. You see his little face poking through, and he's got a little hand on top making a face. Pretty wild. I don't know what's going on. And then coming up here, we've got our soft vinyl toy shelf. Really special one for me. You know, my soft vinyl things really has been a big deal in Craftsman's life in a lot of ways. I don't want to sound too dramatic about it, but yeah, a lot of new friends in the soft vinyl toy community, and just the toy community in general. Got a lot of toys, but let's see if we missed anything. We also have this miniature shop interior that we were going to use for a project that never quite perspirated. We got a Steady Craftin shop right there. You'll recognize that from the intros. I've got all kind of wonderful items made by dear friends of mine out here, and this just, like I say, constant inspiration. And that's some more, quite a few items people have made that I just really treasure and cherish. I keep out here, and then some things that we've sculpted, Craftsman and me, different ones. The creativity of young people, look at that. I mean, come on, priceless. That's one of my first bootleg figures, no kidding. First resin figures, one of them. Mercy. And I try to showcase as much as I absolutely can because everything that y'all send to me means something to me. And everything I've got is in here somewhere, whether or not you see it or not. It may not be the most obvious to jump out at you, but anyway, coming back, yeah, we got ET right there. Mercy. My mama gave me that, and she found it at a thrift store. And what that is a basically unlicensed. Somebody had a mold or something. They was going crazy with these ET lamps back in the day. Okay, but we've got the steady crafting, previously made projects corner right here. And this is not everything we've made. A lot of stuff we've either it's walked out of here or, you know, been destroyed, given away, or whatever. But more recently, we started to preserve some of the things that we make. And now we come to the main toy shelf right here. I have had some form of a big toy shelf since the early days of steady crafting. It's only just kind of expanded or either add tiers to it. It's a blessing to me to have this, to even, you know. And I know we're not supposed to store up our treasures on earth. That's not what I'm saying. We store them up in heaven, correct? But what I'm getting at is, this is like, for the most part, things made by people that were passionate about their designs, and that means something to me. That's like somebody said, you know, I want to actually make it, you know, make a toy, make a physical thing that was once in my head, and now here we go. I got a representation of it. Just special. And of course, that right there, center island, I call it that table. That's where I do most of my filming, top down or whatever. I film right there on that table. That's my pig nose amp. I've got a little phone adapter, so I come out here with my music playlist, and I have to have music playing. Sometimes I will have videos in my episodes, clips, where I just had music playing. You know, music helps to get through the day. But anyway, I have to cut the audio out and then put some birds in the background. But yeah, that's, and what's in here? No big deal, just a bunch of remotes of a Patrol and some batteries. Extra camera. We got some vinyl toys right there. My AC kicked on, so let's turn that off. And all right, we back. So yes, we have all kinds of vinyl figures now. Some of these were made with DIY silicone molds. A couple of them. Most of them were made in metal Sofubi molds, which we're going to talk more about in a little bit. But those big robots right there, that's Oto 7. And those were made at a factory. That was our first vinyl toy release, and that's kind of been a big deal to Crafsman. And we got a special figure right there on top that's brand new, not released yet. And a cat head right there sculpted by my buddy, Mr. Theo Kane. Look at that. Can't wait to release these. More delightful, inspiring toys. Just looking so professional, so nice, made by friends of mine. Wonderful gifts. Look at this. Look at this. You know, idols from my favorite movies, from people who worked on it. Mr. Pendleton Ward. Let me tell you something about, you know, not everybody in Hollywood is a duty head. Man, Pendleton Ward is a real one. He's really a wonderful friend, and that man went out of his way and registered my Twitter account back in the day. He saw that it had not been registered, reserved it for me. We tend to think of professional people as just like, you know, mean-spirited or this and that, you know. But man, he's just a nice man. I just shout out to my man Pendleton. My man James. Shout out to James. The Office is my favorite show. Yeah. As you can tell, really like The Office. And got bukus of just like old, like I said, old things, you know, not just, it goes between either like old stuff and stuff that y'all made or that was used in a movie we liked, or like that's old stuff. That's old stuff that somebody made and sent to me that's just fabulous. I hanker for a hunk of cheese. Look, a wagon wheel. Lego instructions. Oh, it's kind of, I might pass out in just a split second, but if I do, I will come back. Return to the key. Yeah. All right, so coming back down to this section here, let me back up a little bit. Show you. This is our injection molding section right here. We have a manual injection molder as well as a pneumatic. What this does is that one hooks up to a compressor. That's the main difference. Plus, the main difference too is you get like twice the amount of plastic out of this one. But yeah, still can't believe we, injection molding our own little figure. I don't think I'll ever get over that. And we keep a little molds. Just to even have to have molds, to have them to mold. Let's see. It's a really special feeling. Shout out to John SL. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted, y'all. I tell you. I mean, to make real plastic pieces is just fabulous feeling. And so that's more for like us to see what we have on hands. That's kind of like sample sizes, but we keep our bulk plastics down here. It's not very well lit. Yeah, we got some like bulk plastics and things down in here. Oh, and I forgot to show y'all my vacuum chamber. I use that all the time. That's my old backup vacuum pump. I just got it sitting right there. That's the one I actually use. And then I got a little computer fan. That's how my oil vapor escapes outside right there. And by the way, that's considered a 5-gallon vacuum chamber. That's also considered a 5-gallon vacuum chamber. I feel like it's kind of important to point that out. What that means is inside of the smooth-on one, you can actually literally fit an entire 5-gallon bucket, including the container. So that's why this one can almost fit inside this other one, is because that one holds 5 gallons of liquid volume. So it's a lot smaller. Just wanted y'all to see that because it kind of confused me at first. If I'm not using this to pull a vacuum on silicone or resin before I pour it, I'm primarily using this to pull a vacuum on soft vinyl toy molds while the plastisol is inside the mold. This pulls the bubbles up and out and gets them out of your final plastic piece. Don't want bubbles. And coming over here, we have our mold removal station. That's just a couple of pieces of pipe and some couplers, and very simple, but very useful. You need somewhere to slide your molds and to be able to keep it secure while you remove it. It's not exactly to specifications. There's some things about it that's not exactly right, but it works for Crafsman. So like I said, vacuum pump. We got a vacuum pot, and then coming over here, ooh, we got some vinyl colors. And just various colors. You can see they need to be shook up, some of them. But yeah, this is how I color our soft vinyl pieces right there. And speaking of soft vinyl, let's look at the molds. Pretty tickled with this. This is a recent build. By the way, Crafsman has not purchased lumber in a long time. A lot of the stuff like that plywood, that came off my old sound booth. That's how I built those shelves right there. But generally, your soft vinyl toy molds, you want to keep them kind of away from dust and dirt. And I got them covered with that cardboard, which keeps stuff out of the inside. Okay, let me show you. I'm gonna put it on autofocus for a second again. Alright, so we've covered this topic quite a bit on the channel. This is an actual soft vinyl toy mold. This is designed for slush casting. That's a process by which you put vinyl into that. You heat it up and lets it form a skin on the inside. You dump out the uncured part, then you cure the final part, and it gives you a hollow piece. So let's see. All right. Because inside of there is nice and shiny. Look at that. We've got a silver polish going on. We don't want to scratch that. You can do crazy stuff with slush casting, aka soft vinyl, aka sofubi. This is a claw juice figure. That's by Toys down in New Orleans. This type is made with a two-part process where you use a translucent followed by an opaque. Really cool effect. And now we finally come to what I've been wanting to show y'all. This is my new soft vinyl like cooking situation. Previously I was using a little tiny like a pot, a round pot, and doing tons and tons and tons of research. Finally talking to friends of mine about this and just researching led me to getting a corn dog cooker. Now what's extremely cool about this is that as you can see, I got more like room rectangularly wise. This will also allow us to produce our very largest figure, Oto 7. Previously, like I said, we had these made in a factory, and now we can actually use this mold. Pretty exciting. This is some Herbert Hall Quick Temper 275 salt. It's doesn't start to melt until above 275 degrees. It is extremely hot stuff, and it stays hot. Once this thing melts down, I will come out here the next day. It's still going to be over 100 degrees. So pretty crazy. Oh yeah. Always be careful, by the way. You really shouldn't do this because I don't want y'all doing this and have this hot salt squirt up on you, but Crafsman's a little slightly bit impatient. But yeah, it takes it a while to melt. So obviously Crafsman's a big fan of that. That feels like a blessing to have that piece of equipment. And by the way, I took a 50 gallon drum and I split it in two and made this like oven hood right there. I put a light up in there so we can see. And that pulls outside to my explosion proof fan, which I also use this same unit to for my airbrush booth. That's the same motor. And in case you come in my shop and think, is Crafsman really serious about sofubi? Tell me what you think about that. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to show y'all. Alright, sorry about that. Basically, look, this is all just like, for one reason or another, parts that either I was testing or either just had bubbles or color was wrong, something was wrong. But I just want to show you, I go through a lot to get to, you know, a lot of the trial and error and things like that. And we have setbacks and we have humidity and we have things, unforeseen things overtake us all. But yeah, just keep trying is what I'm saying. Also, this is kind of fun for when I have visitors. It's kind of like the dentist office, you know, you can pick something out. Hey, pick one of these out. Yeah. I've said it before, there's probably some psychological reason why Craftsman's fixated and hung up on toys and on old things and on the 1980s and early 90s. And I don't know, but I can say that producing toys, in particular producing soft vinyl toys, without getting into too much personal detail, it's allowed me to get off some of my antidepressants. So that's honestly been a blessing and been fabulous. And I just want to remind everybody that this did not happen overnight. You know, I've been slowly adding to it, even years before I started on YouTube. This has been a very much slow work in progress. But I just want you to understand and know that you can live out your dreams. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you sincerely to my direct supporters, to everyone who's like, hey Crafsman, I like your things. You do so much. I want to help support it. It means a lot to my family and me. Until next time, I love y'all. And please, please keep on steady, steady, steady crafting. Now, while we have done a workshop tour before in the past, it's been a while, and plus, probably, let's do that again. All right, coming to over here, we got our, what is that thing even called? Compressor, good grief. That wide lens makes it look huge up in here.